You got a fucking problem, dude?
No, man.
Alright.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Welcome to the JeanJax podcast.
Yes, sir.
I feel like we should start saying our names.
Yeah, my name is Christoph Jean.
Mine is JeanJax.
Excellent.
It's very strange. Both of us in a room and we're just announcing our names.
Are you missing a tooth?
No.
Do you have something in your teeth? Yeah. You smile? Turn this way? Oh, yeah, you totally got something in your teeth.
I gotta get it out.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Do you see it?
For a whole podcast?
It's like a little black speck.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Wait, are you serious?
Wait, we're gonna restart it though.
Oh my god, this guy.
We're doing a video podcast.
I'm too insecure about. He had a little.
Took a gross shit in there.
Jake just said he took a huge shit in the bathroom and Joe's walking it.
Joe
I think what really happened is Joe figured that Jake was taking a shit in there, and then was like, "Ooh, I gotta get in there while it's fresh." You know?
Are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Why didn't he pee before?
No, he doesn't have to pee. He had something in his teeth. And he got self-conscious, and he has to go and get it out. Did you get it out?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was like a piece of lettuce.
It was a piece of lettuce. I'm repeating because you're not talking to a microphone.
Well, alright, welcome to the JeanJax podcast.
Alright, yeah.
We're actually starting now.
Yeah, sorry. You want to actually go again?
Yeah.
Clean, I talked over you. Okay, ready?
Welcome to the JeanJax podcast. I'm your host, JeanJax.
And I am your master host,
No.
Christoph Jean.
Alright, oh sure, whatever.
Oh, wow, you just bow down?
I don't know.
You just really kowtow?
I was
That's
going to
so
say,
quick.
you said you were the master, and I was about to say, just kidding, you're the slave host.
No, you
been
can't
bad.
say that. Not with that haircut.
Come on, man, I'm letting the dome
Look
out.
at your neo-Nazi looking at boy.
No, I'm letting the dome out, dude.
No, dude, you look like you're going, you see what this means? He's not welcome! That's from American History X.
Yeah, I'm about to curb stomp you.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No one's going to CS anyone.
That's the short.
We don't say curb stomp in this
That's
house.
what we call it. I feel like my dome is my hair has grown out enough that it kind of looks like I shaved it.
Yeah, it looks
instead
purposeful.
of just rubbed it out of my head.
Yeah. I mean, it was so impossibly bald, you know?
Yeah.
Like baby bald, like
Yeah.
smooth, like it was almost like I don't know. I'm trying to compare it to something like
Like skin without any hair on it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm trying to make a fun analogy for podcast listeners, Joe.
Sorry, man.
You got something else in your teeth?
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
You have something in your teeth.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. It's calm.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I got it. It's right there.
We have a terrible podcast.
No, this is a great podcast. Dude, that was a perfect something. Oh, there's something in my teeth. No one's done that.
We've been hitting those pretty hard. The
Middle fingers. I love
last
the middle
week,
fingers so much.
Middle fingers are great.
They're very funny, dude.
What do you think was the best one you did?
Probably this one. Oh, dumbass motherfucker! You walked right into that.
I'm playing
bitch.
a long con, dude. Someday in like 10 years
You're
from now.
playing the sock on.
Yeah.
The sock on these
The
nuts.
what?
Ow!
We got a podcast.
You're on fire, dude.
Dude, I took an Adderall.
You did.
No, I didn't.
I wouldn't be surprised. Dude, I want to see what you're like an Adderall. I feel like you're already so fucking...
I'm fucking lasered in. What am I already so fucking what? Already so fucking what?
Whatever that is.
What? Intense?
Yeah.
Am I an intense guy? Oh, I didn't record audio. And we're live!
Welcome to-
Whatever, we got it from the camera.
I don't know. We could just start now. We got like fucking one.
No, we had some good stuff in there. Dude, this one? Come on.
Yeah.
There's something in my teeth? Come on.
You're going to edit it, so we'll decide.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's good on the camera. God damn it, though. This always screws me up because the Zoom, you got to press it twice.
So this would be our third time starting the,
Yes.
the
maybe
podcast.
even-
Let's go over everything again. I shaved my head.
Shave my head because I'm joining. You're joining
I
hate
had
groups. Blah, blah, blah,
cancer.
blah, blah, blah.
You gave me the middle finger and it wasn't funny. or
What about
cool.
a porn parody of American History X?
I'm trying to think of what
American
the premise
History
would be.
Sex.
American History Triple X.
Yeah, no, it's American History
XXX.
Sex.
Yeah.
Dude, it's obviously well, that might be confusing. It might be like a Revolutionary War porn or something.
American History Sex. Yeah, it's just them banging it out in a tent during
That'd be
the
pretty fucking hot. I'm not gonna lie. Dude.
revolutionary sex.
Yes, that would be
Yeah.
hot.
I mean, I'm trying to just think of how stinky it would be.
That's hot,
Yeah, just bugs flying around.
dude. He's got like
Is two guys?
No, it's not. Yeah, you would think that. No, there's you got Betsy Ross.
Is that the chick who made the flag?
That's the chick who made the
They're
flag.
banging it out in the first
Busty
American
Ross,
flag ever.
dude.
Yeah.
She's got big tits and
Yeah.
she sews the flag, and then I don't know who fucks her.
I'm just trying to think of a parody name for like
George Washington.
Yeah, George Washington on skin.
No, George Washington's not terrible. I feel like George something tin is like the way to go. George Wienerton.
What are Benjamin
Fucking Fucklin.
Benjamin Stanklin. That's like a rap name.
Yeah, dude, Benjamin Stanklin, dude. That's kind of fucking hard, dude. That kind of goes hard.
Thomas
Pain in the ass.
Yeah. Thomas Painel. I don't know.
Painel.
Yeah.
Is Thomas Paine? Was he revolutionary? Yeah, he was.
He's all Enlightenment thinkers. John Cock instead of John Locke.
Nice.
Or John Hancock. We could just go for the
You
classic.
don't have to do anything. John Hancock.
Yeah, John
Or
Hancock.
maybe like
and
Johnny Hancock to make it a little like street.
yeah.
It's a little street.
Banging out in the first American flag ever. Just
Yeah, dude.
by the fireplace, dude.
It's a very male dominated cast. Like
Yeah.
you're like, unless you could just make them women
Yeah, that's true. We
Like-
could do a little gender swap.
easily. Like you could just say like fuck it,
Georgina Washington.
Georgina Washington, or just their wives. Maybe George Washington's wife.
Mm-hmm.
What was her name?
Dumb bit. I don't know.
No, it's
Sorry.
not dumb bitch.
Yeah.
What was her name? I feel like I knew it.
Was
at
she a
some
famous
point in my
lady?
life. I mean, she's the first first lady.
I feel like honestly, it's more of just like a porn parody of Hamilton. We kind of missed the boat on like
Yeah, dude.
when that
Jamilton.
woman- Yeah.
Or no, Hamilton. It could just still be Hamilton.
Hamilton of Dicks.
Yeah, it'd have to be a musical.
It's surprisingly
too.
hard to come up with these
Porn parodies
these
for like
porn
one word.
parody names, yeah.
Hamilton. That's hard.
Yeah.
Alex Slamder Hamilton.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, those would be good.
And
I think
it's directed by directed and starring
Lin-Manuel.
Lin-Manuel, yeah, and he's just fucking.
Yeah.
He's got like a perfectly average
Yeah.
penis.
I think he has.
Yeah, he's like, I love having sex with. He's
Yeah.
he's popping in
He's
and
like,
out.
yo, I'm having sex. I don't know. What is it? What does Hamilton sound like? Isn't it like, I just know the little beginning from like TikTok or something.
Yeah,
like,
it's just corny.
a bastard, flastered, nastard on a bastard.
Well, there's that part, and yeah, every single scene he kind of like runs in, and then he's like, the revolution, and then he like runs back out. He's always running in and out.
They're like, a lot of people don't know how much Alexander was running. You know what I mean? Because he was running things. but
Well,
he was
yeah, he's
also
just running up to the
around.
audience. He's like, nothing's more important than freedom and liberty, and then like, yeah.
That is awful.
No, I mean Hamilton is fine. I mean, like, I just have no gauge for like what is good musical
Yeah, that's fair.
theater because it's kind of all kind of shitty. Well, not shitty. It's just not for me. You know?
It's such a genre or whatever. I don't know what that means, but you know what I mean? Like, it's such like, there's so many tropey things about it. And
It's kind of like
the way
anime.
it sounds is it's like anime
or
or
like
something,
professional wrestling.
Yes.
Or like both of
Like
those things.
like heavy sci-fi. It's like
Yeah. You
it's
need to
like,
be into
You
it.
need to be into this shit.
And I could appreciate if I like saw it live, you know?
Yeah.
Like if I was there watching Hamilton and I'm watching the dancing and the jumping around and he's spitting
live
fucking
art.
bars, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I would
Nice.
probably be like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But I will never
Watch a recording of it.
listen to it in my car. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
think
Like
I did listen to the soundtrack at one point when it was like initially popping off. I remember being like, "Oh, one of the two of these songs is pretty good."
no, it's good, but you know those people who they listen to musicals in their like in their
Yeah.
free time.
Yeah.
And they have them on vinyl and like
Yeah.
it's like their whole
Yeah.
bag. That shit is GAY.
I do have a pretty GAY song that I love from Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah. That one I think is probably a pretty good one.
Ross, my roommate, saw it and he's like, I thought it was like gonna be hammier and like dumber and like, you know, he thought it was gonna
It was
almost
a parody. The name Jesus Christ Superstar
It sounds
like
silly.
a parody, yeah.
And then he watched it and he was expecting it to be silly, and there was like, it did not feel silly.
Yeah.
And it was like 4 hours long. He was like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah, what have I got myself into?
There's like an intermission like 90 minutes in, and he's like, fuck, dude, shit.
Yeah.
It was like church. It sucked.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought you just give into it at that point and be like, I'm a fucking intellectual.
I love
dude.
Christ.
I love the theater.
Ah, yes, the theater.
Yeah. But, well, were you ever a theater kid?
No.
Well, I don't know.
Whoa, you're shocked that I wasn't in theater?
Well, it's you didn't have like drama
How
class
dare
or
you?
new theater. I don't know. I did theater shit. I went to like
Yeah,
districts and
that's-
states and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all right. It was like, but those are where I got. That's where I know those kids is. You know,
Yes.
that like that's their fucking whole thing is like
I-
singing the songs and playing them in the car and like
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little.
I remember being attracted to theater, but then seeing who was doing it, I go, I'm not doing that.
That was me to some extent. Well, it was a little bit the opposite because the whole reason I did it is because it was like a group of like really chill dudes.
Yeah.
That, like I was boys with.
Doing
and,
theater?
Yeah, and straight like like I still chill with them.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like so then I did it just like move shit on the set just to hang out with them.
Yeah.
But the moment they were a grade ahead of me and they all graduated and I was like, fuck doing this ever.
Okay,
I was just like, yeah.
social.
Now everyone cool has left
Yeah.
and it's just a couple of gay dudes that
Yeah.
are a little annoying and girls that I think are cool but aren't enough to stay. in
Stick
the-
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody was fucking. It's kind of like band
Yes.
in that way.
Yeah.
And not only did they fuck, but they fucked everywhere around the theater.
Yeah.
Is they could point to like, yeah, on those rafters, somebody banged right there, and that couch, somebody banged right there. And it's crazy because the theater director had to have known that was
Yeah.
happening.
Oh, he liked it.
Yeah, no, the
He was
theater
watching.
the theater directors are, I'm assuming, all fucking weirdos.
Yeah, the theater director.
Not you,
at
Mr. Blank.
My yeah, he totally watches your
Yeah.
podcast. The theater director was mad weird at my high school, and then every kid was like spectrum-y. Like they were just
Mhm.
weird
Oh, interesting.
and like kind of strange kids. Like there was no like hot girl who's like I like acting, you know. It was all
Oh,
just like
yeah.
these like fucking like anime kids. Like they were
Weird. I
weird. They
feel
were
though
on some
that would be
Ree
band.
shit. Band was like
Yeah.
that less so. Band
Wild.
had that, but then drumline kids were like
Cool.
and then like smoked.
With like a joint in their
Yes.
mouth while
They
they're
s-
drumming.
They smoked weed and they played in bands and they played the drums in the band.
Yeah, that is what we're talking about though. Of like the one smart kid surrounded by retards. It's so easy to be cool if
you're
you're
in
like
band.
slightly cool around band kids.
But these kids, I mean, I don't know. I like there was like these sort of mainstream like I don't know what the word is, just preppy white thing, and then there was the kind of like skatery, smoky, weedy, play drumsy.
Yeah, well, it's like that thing in high school. You need your sort of. It's like joining a club or joining
Yeah.
something. It's like you kind of find your people and your identity through
Right.
like this activity that you kind of all share together. And then
Yeah.
after you graduate, most of the kids who did theater didn't like only a couple of them
Continue
like
theater,
tried to
yeah,
become
yeah.
actors or whatever. But I mean, the theater kids were all cool, and there were baddies. They were, that was where I discovered that like alternative girls are insane.
Yeah.
If you enjoy like the Smiths or the Cure or whatever,
Right.
you have
That's the
you have
place to be.
BPD. Yeah, yeah, but
Oh, they're nuts. Oh, I
yeah.
thought you meant they're insane, like they were baddies.
No, they
Like
were
they're hot.
baddies in that sort of like theater kind of like
Yeah.
artsy way.
Right.
But yeah, no, they were all insane. I mean, one of them like is in a cult now
Nice.
and is like married. Like, and I mean, yeah, you know, it's just
Dude,
fucking.
that's lit.
But yeah, they were all cool and they had a fucking sick sense of humor.
Yeah.
I did a documentary. I think it's on our channel. Just filming it for it was all our little bits
Yeah.
when we were doing the play, and there's all these little theater like traditions. All these like before we touch each other's dicks or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
no, it's like before every show we'd 1, 2, 3, 4. All that shit.
Zip zaps out.
Yeah, but to them, normally the manager walks in, he goes 5 to places, and everybody else says 5, thank you. That's like
Yeah.
traditionally what you do. And I got this on camera. I'm filming a little conversation, and Ryan walks in, and Aaron just goes, "Watch this. You gotta get this on camera. Get this on camera." Ryan, who everyone's Jewish, Ryan goes 5 to places.
Damn.
Sticks up a sick high, and everybody else, like 3 dudes on camera, just 5, thank you.
Damn, dude.
And it's fucking hilarious, dude. They had the dude, the N-word. I had to cut so many N-words from that documentary. We were just going crazy, dude.
Jesus.
Yeah, and we would like, it was like high school cool. It was 2016. We were all watching Filthy Frank and shit.
Yeah.
And also, nobody gave a fuck about anything, bro. It was like literally, I mean, it was just fun.
Yeah.
And that was why the theater director hated me, though.
Because you said the N-word so much?
I don't know if you ever heard that. If you did, that might be part of it.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
DeMarcus really
I made
like
sure to do like the most racist scene from a play when I had to.
You're like, what about Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, what
guys?
about I do fences but I'm in blackface? No, it was I was
I don't know what fences is, and I was just gonna be like, what are fences? And that was gonna be.
I love these fences.
Like, Joe, did you read the script at all? And you're like, fences, more like
Yeah.
fields.
I love hip hop and fried chicken.
Like this takes place in the 30s.
Yeah. Obama is my favorite president.
Obama.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
I best gets back to those fences is. And they're like, Joe, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And there goes our SNL. Our chances of SNL.
Yeah, dude.
But no, it was we were out in this giant field, and we were like taking the set from the theater into a big truck to unload. And I just see Ryan in the distance, and he kind of gives me a look, and I give him a look, and he gives me a
Yeah.
Ryan is very Jewish.
Yes.
He gives me a little sig heil, and I look at him, and I go, I give him a little sig heil back, and Mr. Blank just goes, Joe, what the hell? And I look back at Ryan, he just like kind of just acts like he doesn't know what the fuck happened.
Just goose steps
I'm
away.
like, come on, man, we're in this together. You fucking brought me into this racist
What happened
mess.
to unity, dude?
Yeah, what happened to never forget or
Yeah,
whatever?
whatever. Never again.
Never again, yeah.
Never again.
Well, I guess yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But no, it was good times. I definitely don't. You didn't have any kind of like club thing you joined?
The closest thing I would say would be TV productions class.
Oh, I was in TV Pro too. That was pretty lit.
It was pretty lit. We made some really fun, stupid ass videos
That we're gonna play now.
I wish I could find them. I almost want to DM, like, find this kid who edited them all and be like, dude, and he put them on YouTube. I was like, what account did you put those on? Because they're also very funny in my mind. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you watch
them,
them,
and they
you
suck.
get them back, and you're just like, no one
This
will
is
ever
the
see
cringiest
this.
thing I've ever seen in my entire
I'm
life.
going to burn any evidence.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, I wonder if anyone knows.
Delete the files.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Like, George, if you're watching this, shoot me a DM and let me know where you uploaded that, George. Because George was another ginger. He kind of looked like me, but skinny, like a skinny, lanky version of me.
So you know.
Like a stretched out version.
Yeah.
No, dude, I'm swollen, huge.
I'm
gigantic,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. No, yeah, TV Pro is sick. I can't believe. I mean, doing some of those videos I still have some on the Google Drive.
Yeah.
And there's some where my teacher, as I just didn't know what was going on, just didn't even know when we were joking or not.
Yeah.
So she let us get away with some fucking dark
Horrible shit.
Yeah, on the
Dude, the teachers who were just oblivious to certain things were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like one video we did. It was like the whole premise was like going up to strangers and telling them corny jokes.
Yeah.
And then being like, and this is my humor. All of the things I had joked about back then was just, I told them a corny joke. I'm like, what did the volcano say to the other volcano? And they're like, what? And they're kind of like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I lava you. And then there's like an awkward sort of moment of me shaking their hand, going, I have depression.
Yeah.
And
dude, 2016 was.
Yeah.
That was the time for that.
It was probably also me coping with like high school anxiety. It was just going up to people being like, I cried in the bathroom stall.
LOL.
Yeah. And but no, in that video, it cuts to me like looking over the fence, like, do you think if I landed on my neck I would die? And then it cuts to more corny jokes, and like toward the end of the video, it just like cuts back, the camera comes up, I'm just going jumping, pretending to jump off the roof. Ian's like, no, Joe, please. And then it cuts away. And we played that to the entire school. Like,
That's incredible.
I don't know if the principal saw that or anything. We tried to get away with a lot of shit.
I made a commercial for this thing, for this like local store, this local like streetwear store.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted a commercial on the morning show, and I did that song, Gold all on my chain. Gold, you know that song?
I think so.
Gold all on my neck. And then he says just N-word. And I cut it exactly where he says, right before he says N-word.
Yeah, does that go on the announcements?
Yeah, I went on the announcements.
Fucking
So
epic,
everyone
dude.
who'd seen it was like, dude, he was about it. Bro, he was about it.
Dude, yeah, I gotta show you some of this shit later because
Yeah.
there was one we did of and we could I could find these very easily. Is where this was the one she didn't let us play, and it was because it was a promotion for something they were actually trying to like promote.
Yeah,
which
It
was
a
like this.
genuine
It was like this
advertisement.
acronym of like pride, like
Oh, poop.
yeah, this
Retard.
stands for
It's
like
idiots.
passion or whatever.
Yeah,
and, like
yeah.
me and Ian just totally edged the whole thing up.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah,
Like one of them was like R was like respect diversity.
yeah.
And there's just a clip of me going up to it's the girl Kayla, and she's just like one of the black girls in the class who we were homies.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But I went up to her and I just go, it's just respect diversity, and it's just me going up to her like, my dog. What is up, my dog? And it's like, and she's like, Joe, leave me alone, please. And then me going like, so I was watching Get Out.
That's funny.
No, I don't even think that's I don't think she even realized what we were doing with that.
No.
It was just the fact that we were making a big joke out of this acronym.
Racial thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of this like racial harmony video, you're like,
Well, that was one of the letters. The other ones were about like pee pee poop. I don't know.
They're
School
about
shit.
pee and poo poo.
Yeah. It's like don't wear your dress code or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a pretty good one. Did you read the announcements?
No, I was never. I wanted to do the morning show, but I felt like weirdly excluded from it. But I should have just like asked and been more like vocal about wanting to do it. But it was this weird thing that kind of like you got like grandfathered into it.
Interesting.
And it just felt like, oh, there's like, you know what I mean? Like you got it in freshman year and then you did it for 4 years.
Yeah.
Or something. It was weird. Like it didn't make sense to me. I felt like I was like, oh, all the slots are filled up. But I might have just been in my head about it and like just scared to ask.
Yeah, well, because for my thing, it was nobody wanted to read ever. I mean,
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was only like 5 people who always did it because they just didn't care. I would just do it.
Yeah.
And because she every day was her going, guys, somebody needs to read the announcements.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't give a fuck. But there was one day I showed up to school on like a half day, and me and my brothers just smoked a ton of weed before school. And
Couldn't read.
well, yeah, this was where it was a half day, so we had to read it into like the megaphone for the whole school.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there just stoned, and my teacher was like, Joe, you're the only one. And I was just like, I can't do it today. There's nothing, like, I'm absolutely not going to read it today. And it's like a cut to me in the office like, reading it, and I fucked the whole thing up. I just skipped the pledge completely, and like
Nice.
the other girl had to like go back and read the pledge like halfway through. And I just remember leaving like, damn, I really...
Did you get in trouble or anything?
It was mostly just like, I can't get in trouble for it. They didn't know I was stoned. It was mostly just like he fucked it up.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things you think is like a huge deal and everybody knows and everybody cares.
No one
but
gave a shit.
Yeah, it was nobody cares.
I read the announcements my 8th grade year in middle school. The end of day announcements I read.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember once my friend, he was giving me so much shit because of this 9/11 announcement I did. And because we're like, here at Coleman Middle School, well, we refer to September 11th as Patriots Day. So no longer will we call it 9/11. It will now be referred to as Patriots Day. Show your patriotism. And so my buddy LJ just walked up to me after school. He's like, oh, Patriots Day. Oh, 9/11.
Were you trying to make it silly, or was
No,
that your...
I was trying to like read it in a way that's like reverent or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's like 9/11.
Yeah.
Like I didn't goof off. Like I was too nervous. I was just like, I'm just gonna do this straight and fucking.
Well, it's funny when it's like I did that like the UCF, you know, like little late night show thing, like their little morning announcements type beat. When they had me do stand up for it and like interviewed me, it was so bizarre to see everyone doing like an impression of what they think like an announcer is supposed to sound like, you know?
Yeah.
I imagine that's kind of, you know, doing a voice or whatever.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh, hello, there's I don't know
yeah,
why.
yeah.
like
nobody's being authentic.
I
Or,
put on this app. Yeah. I'm not gonna be like, 9/11's Patriots Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would be better. It would sound better.
Well, yeah, it's just maybe I think that's the thing that blew my mind is like everybody says Jimmy Fallon is like so fake.
Yeah.
And I bet exactly what I was feeling of like sitting next to like this like college kid trying to affect Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
I bet that's what it feels like to sit next to Jimmy
the
Fallon.
show.
Yeah, like I bet Jimmy Fallon's fake laugh. I bet hearing that in person is like,
oh,
that's weird.
Yeah,
This guy's
surreal.
weird. Yeah, because that's exactly how I felt at UCF. Just like this guy's being.
Do you remember
weird.
what questions they asked you?
Well, it was just very funny because the whole thing was like, he was like, hey, I might ask about like your cancer thing because you're going through that. And I was like, absolutely. I have jokes prepared.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like I could easily talk about it. But when he announced it, he said it like it was like this
sad thing.
like he's like, no, the opposite. Yeah. I come on, he's like, so Joe recently was diagnosed with cancer, and he was like, and I'm like, that is so funny that you're saying it like it's this like congratulations thing, or you're just like wah wah. You know? And the other guy was like started to get pissed at him during the show.
Oh, really?
Well, he was just like, Philip, come on, like why are you even asking about that? And I was like, no, I'm totally
fine.
listen.
Let's
Just all be cool, and I'll offer to suck people's balls in the audience. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I totally.
You just did the bits.
Well, I asked him specifically. My material is like I talk about like weed and sex and stuff. Like I can probably avoid cursing, but my material
Right.
is like kind of sexual.
yeah.
And he was like, just do your bit, like do
it
whatever,
however.
do it however. And I show up, and it turns out he wanted me to do that, but nobody else knew I was going to talk about my dick and sex and weed and shit like that.
Yeah.
And so I've got the whole audience, like I'm doing really well. Like
Yeah.
I'm just doing my regular bits. It was so boring, and now I'm like, kind of like waking them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just hear I see the producers like, you can't do this. Like there was like a professor watching that was like super pissed and stuff. And yeah, I'm like, that is really gay, but I didn't do anything wrong. I was told.
That's wild,
Yeah.
dude. I mean,
Well, it's like, it's for college,
yes.
but
Well, you have these. I don't know. Like I watched Animal House. Have you seen Animal House?
when I was a kid, yeah, like my dad would watch it.
Well, there's like the one. It's Donald Sutherland. I can never. Sutherland.
Donald
Sutherland.
Sutherland, I think, yeah.
He's like, I'm pretty sure it's this movie where he's a like pot smoking like professor. He's like a philosophy professor.
Yeah,
and
one
he
of those
smokes,
quirky, cool philosophy
and he
professors.
smokes pot in Tweed with all the kids, and they're like, he's like, what if like there's another dimension?
I
and
kind
they're
of
like-
had a professor like that.
Right? He's like
Yeah.
that, right? And I'm like, you had one like that? I'm just
Kinda,
imagining.
yeah,
there's
he was just
more
cool.
of that.
He just watched Dead Poet Society and was like that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna do
yeah.
that.
I
He would
wish
like
there
ride
was
his bike into
more-
class and
I
shit.
wish there was more of that in my college experience. I feel like I really didn't have that. I had like middle-aged women who were like, "We support you," and I was like,
Oh, no, I didn't have that. No, that professor in particular was pretty inspiring in that way.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, you can just like really, because he was one of those teachers, which I think that's what the teaching is kind of about. Honestly, is not necessarily teaching kids stuff that they will remember in the lesson, but giving them being an example of how you can think and how you can be.
Yeah.
Like I remember little life lesson shit, and I remember their personality way more than anything I actually learned. You
Yeah.
know? And so that philosophy professor, I'm like, I can minor in this, bro. If every fucking teacher's like that.
Right.
But yeah, he would like quote George Carlin and shit,
Right.
and nobody knew it was George Carlin except for like, I guess if you watched him,
Yeah. Yeah.
he would like act like it was.
He's just stealing bits.
Yeah, but yeah, he'd ride his bike in class like there's a petroleum crisis, and go in.
No, I fuck with that, dude.
I had one professor, Mr. Fugarino,
Yeah.
or he was a high school teacher, and it was like a retard class.
Yeah.
It was one of those classes you take just because bare minimum, like
Yes.
just like math class where it's like,
Like
2 + 2 equals
Math for people who can't read or
Yes.
something is the
And
name.
I
It's
took-
literally it's
yeah.
comprehensive algebra. Or
Yeah.
it's some fake name. Yeah.
And I took that one because I didn't want to do any work, and I'm pretty sure he teaches that one because he didn't want to do any work.
Yeah.
He was kind of just this like very sort of conservative but like funny conservative. He just like would do all these edgy jokes and shit with this white mustache and crazy hair.
Nice.
And like I would draw a little bear on the whiteboard, like a cute little bear, just when we were bored, and I'd turn back around and I look back and the bear has like a Hitler mustache and Hitler hair and a little caption that says "I want Poland." And I looked over, and Fuggerino has like a marker in his hand, like a black marker in his hand, and he's just smiling. And
That's sick.
yeah, he was great. I think I took a picture of it, and I still have it. It's in my favorites.
Nice.
But the reason I bring him up is this is the example I always give is to like sort of why I even like think about being a teacher. Is one day I don't remember the context, but he just looks at me. He's like, Joe, it's always better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. And I never even like heard that before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. And I walk into class one day, and I hadn't eaten my lunch during lunch, so I'm like eating it. I'm like eating my PB&J like during class. And he comes in, he's like, "Who said you could fucking eat your lunch in here?"
Yeah.
And I was like, it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And he gave me a fist bump. He's like, if you learned one thing from this class, it's that.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anything else.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah, you're not gonna retain.
Yeah, I remember that and the Poland thing. It was that.
Hitler bear.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you have any inspiring professors?
Not really,
Just
dude.
Lamos?
I don't know, dude. I've never. I'm trying to think of a teacher that I really fucked with, that really inspired me, and I really can't.
Yeah.
Like I really.
Do you
just,
remember
like,
anyone that was just a fucking big nerd?
who sucked ass?
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I had this my AP computer science teacher, dude. He was such like everyone loved him, and he was just this like 38-year-old like Reddit bro who was like fat and just IPA dork. And like
you like make internet references and everybody's like, oh
shit!
He
All
knows
the
what I
other
know.
like kids who are into JavaScript are like, OMG,
Yeah.
the narwhal bacon's at midnight, bro. Oh my god, bro! And I'm like, bro, Mr. whatever. I don't even remember his fucking name, little bitch. Whoa. And I'll beat his ass. And then one time I saw him at a Chipotle, and I had heard this. He's like, yeah, his girlfriend's like really old. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, his girlfriend's like 20 years older than he is. And I was like, yeah, what? And then I see him, and I forgot about this, but I'm like, oh, that's Mr. Whatever with his mom. And then he like gives her like this like huggy
She's
little thing,
making out with her with tongue and everything.
dude. Yeah, like I'm like, bro, he fucks granny.
She's like an a frail old woman. Looks like she's dying.
Yeah, dude, and he was just like,
Or no, he's got her in a wheelchair. She's like that little chick from SpongeBob.
yeah, chocolate.
What did he say?
Bro.
What are they selling?
And I was just like, oh. And it wasn't even like a hot old lady. It was just kind of like a 60-year-old woman with this like
It's the only
40-year-old
pussy you can get, I guess.
man. I don't know. No, that's like a fetish. Like you don't just do that. You don't go, oh well, it's all I can get. Like no, you like old ladies.
I
Like,
guess so. Good for
he's like,
him if that's the case.
maybe you'll inherit something when she dies in 10 years. You
Hey,
know?
that's pretty, dude.
Yeah.
That's how I'm trying to be.
He would like once like the AP exam was over, we would just go there and like it was kind of fun. We could just play video games in that class, not do anything.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
Would you seriously date a girl who was like, how much older was he than her, or her than him?
I don't know I would guess between 10 and 15 years.
Would you date a lady who's like 15 years older than you?
No, not at this point. No, not date.
Yeah.
I mean, if she was attractive, I'd make love to an older woman.
Let's say you
if I was
were
a single boy.
like 35. Would you date a 25-year-old?
Probably. I mean, it would really depend. Like, if I'm 35, you know, because, like, the way I feel about someone now who's, like, 21, you know, it's like there's a noticeable thing, you know, like.
Huge difference in, like, life experience and.
Well, just, like, yeah, life experience and then also, like, context of life. Like, someone still in college where I've worked, like, I don't have a square day job anymore, but it's weird working, like, 40 hours a week and then dating a girl who's like, oh gosh, I have like 3 hours of class today. I'm like, bitch, I work 8 hours every day.
Bro, that's you hanging out with me.
Well, you don't bitch about shit. You don't bitch about like, oh, I gotta go to class. I've never heard you bitch about that.
Yeah.
I've heard you bitch about like, fuck. It's not
She
even
won't text
bitching.
me back.
Yeah.
most of
That's
it.
what you complain. And I'm like, dude, just literally fall in love.
Yeah.
My
That's us
advice
now. Yeah.
is literally just meet a woman you really like and then fall in love with her.
That's now.
Easy peasy, bro.
6 months ago or however long, it was like I would be like, she won't text me back, and you're just like, yeah, and the love isn't real. Yeah, I don't think either of us will find it.
Yeah, the light is gone from my life. So yeah, every woman I talk to ends up disliking me after. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Or
just
like-
life is just a difficult series of non-happenings.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it turns out if you get to know someone after 2 weeks, they all are horrible people,
Yeah.
and that it was a trick. It was a trick that your
Yeah.
eyes played on you. That you
It would
thought
often be
you-
me going like, "There's hope, buddy." There's-
Yeah. I'm like, nah, dude. Every girl sucks, or they
Yeah.
fucking hate me. There's no in between. There's no normalcy whatsoever.
Yeah.
Nah, then you just meet a little shoddy, a little boo thing.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at now, especially now, is I'm just like, dude, I think I'm done. I think the horny phase of
Yeah.
my life maybe is tipping off
It's
a little bit.
dwindling.
Just the idea, is how much more valuable is like something meaningful than like
Vapid,
some vapid ego boosting
yeah.
fucking night or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, take those if you're given them,
Certainly, yeah.
but don't live for them.
yeah, don't
you
just
know.
don't just fucking think about it all the time or whatever.
Yeah, just like push.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I never had that.
No. Like
Well,
the pursuit.
not really, because I had it like kind of briefly, but I just was nervous to talk to girls. I was also fatter and like shyer,
Mm-hmm.
before, and then I just like got herpes from like fucking random bitches.
Yeah. That's gotta do it.
Like 3 women in 18 months. Like it was not,
Yeah.
I think even less than that.
Yeah, you weren't Andrew
2 women
Tate.
in 2
Yeah.
years. I was not rolling through pussy.
No.
I was just raw dogging everyone I met over a
Yeah,
5-year period.
See, that I've been
And-
too scared of that.
Or no, not 5 years, like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get her.
Do you think there's like a lot of subconscious stuff going on following the herpes that just complete like you would point to a lot of your behaviors and sort of thoughts and go like, yeah, that started with the herpes thing.
My anxiety got way worse.
Yeah, I bet.
Way worse. Because I had like panic attacks about having it for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
And the first night when I realized something was wrong with my dick and balls, I could not sleep, dude.
Oh yeah.
I was like rocking back and forth like a crit. Like
I would be the same.
it was like
Absolutely.
because it was like I was going to sleep and my dick and balls felt weird, and then I went to the bathroom to look at it, and there was like a big old fucking welty thing on it, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, and I'm looking up pictures of herpes, and I'm like, this kind of looks like it,
Yeah. Well, I'm comparing that to like when I found out I had cancer or like there's something wrong with my ball.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is a very different sort of like, it's very different news and a very different reaction to herpes. Like I do feel like the joke would be like, I would rather get cancer than herpes.
Yeah.
But to some extent, probably, as far as like the connotation.
One goes away.
The connotation of
One,
it. Yeah, the
like-
permanency of it.
Like testicular is like what, like 90
it's like 95%
plus? Yeah.
survival rate. Yeah.
So, would I rather have one ball right now than like have to always tell potential partners about this thing? Tough call. I'd
Well,
probably
certainly getting rid of the ball is one thing. Definitely, if I knew how long and
Yeah.
how difficult the entire sort of
Yeah.
journey would be, I might have chose herpes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the sort of finitude is what makes
Yeah.
it
But herpes has
bearable.
a certain finitude to it as well. As like I've pretty much come to
come to
accept
terms
it.
with it. Yeah, and also the person you're with now doesn't give a fuck,
No.
and even the people you were with leading up to that didn't really.
no.
turn
Well,
it- except for-
two women rejected me from having sex with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop you from ever getting laid again.
No.
Yeah, and you can sort of explain that. I mean, it definitely, knowing you, especially when I met you and
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's not just a bit. And
Oh yeah. No. It's
It definitely opened my eyes to like how sort of normal and not even that crazy it is.
no. It's super prevalent.
But definitely, I'd probably have a similar amount of anxiety
Yeah.
with that. I don't know. How do you think you'd react? Do you think you'd react similarly if you found out about your ball?
Oh, I'd freak the fuck out, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'd have a fucking aneurysm.
Yeah.
No, I would not be able to handle it well.
Even just the initial.
Oh, the initial would be the worst part.
Oh.
And then
No, it got way worse as it went on.
the like ongoingness of it would put me into a depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. If they're like, we're just gonna I would have a huge freak out, and then I'd realize they're just gonna take it out, and I'd be okay with that for a bit. And then they're like, hey, we gotta do chemo
Yeah,
now, and
yeah.
I'd be like, fuck.
And that's kind of how it went. Yeah,
And
that's
they're
pretty
like,
much
we
how it
gotta
went.
take over your lymph nodes now, and then I'd be like, fucking what, dude? And then I'd just be like, by the second time doing chemo, I'd be like, I'm so fucking.
Oh,
over
that
it.
second time was I mean, not only was it like I don't want to do it, but it was like I am starting to not believe them anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like they have told me this is the 4th time they have told me
They
that
told
this
you
is the
some
last
shit,
thing
this
I
is
have
it.
to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I would probably get really angry and really depressed.
Yeah, well, even reading Being Mortal though, it makes me realize how difficult how much
Yeah.
doctors want to give you good news, you know,
Yeah.
and how much they don't want to, you know, they don't want to tell you. They want to give you. They want to present everything like information,
Yeah.
you know, as opposed. It's just
I suppose like what?
as opposed to saying like this unlikely thing might actually happen. It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
We're trying to be objective, I guess. You know, it's
yeah,
probably
yeah.
for the best, dude.
But no, I just remember that first time after because I was at the emergency room. I found out
Yeah.
that they had told me about my nut, gave me a bunch of information or whatever, set up my next appointment, and then I just went to the fucking bar
Yeah.
with you and
Yes.
and then we recorded a podcast a
Yeah.
couple days later, and listening back to that is so funny
Yes.
just because that is like a direct reaction, you know, like a couple days after finding out,
Yeah.
and it was hilarious.
It was a good one.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, it really does. I do believe, even though comedy's gay and it's not a real art form, it does make you feel better about
Yeah.
stuff if you can make.
You don't think
make
it's a
it
real
funny.
art form?
No, I do, but we've had that conversation
Yeah.
of like it's fucking lame or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that's the strongest thing they can offer is
What was I watching that bothered the shit out of me about this?
what stand up as like a
I don't remember.
what
I think it was
in
someone
what way did it
saying-
bother you?
It was someone saying, "Oh, like, I don't know. I think stand-ups are so bipolar, or like at least the opinions about it. Sometimes you'll have some comics. It's just different people with different opinions. The more I think about it, but some comics will be like, stand-up is like." Dude, it fucking heals the masses, and
I
it
hate that shit,
communicates.
yeah.
It communicates complex ideas, and I'm like,
No.
And then you have other people who are being like, I'm literally a dumb clown. Like, I'm a
Yeah.
dumbass, stupid ass, like honk honk,
yeah.
stupid, dummy, dumb. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, it's in the middle. It's obviously
yeah.
in the middle. And people are like, I don't know.
Well, I guess for me, I'm just
it's
thinking
either
about
you're a rodeo clown or you're fucking like, Nietzsche. And like,
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking,
Well,
what is this?
I don't even necessarily think I don't even care if the audience necessarily gets what I get out of it.
Yeah.
You know, the audience, I'm perfectly fine with them just laughing and thinking it's funny and maybe getting to know me a little bit as part of it. You know,
Yeah.
I think is the revelatory sort of aspect of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's revealing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what I get out of it is it really does make me feel better when I'm really feeling bad about something to get a room full of people to laugh about it.
We'll have a good set.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of art. Is it feels the same when I write a song and
It's
I'm
cathartic.
not. Yeah. Like even like what I experienced like a few days ago of like really upsetting somebody, which I'd never done before. I never really like hurt a girl's feelings or anything like that, or like been in that position.
Yeah.
And going on stage just yesterday and like talking about the threesome or whatever,
Yeah.
and being and like sort of changing it into this thing that became sort of awkward or just, you know,
You revealed some emotions you had about it.
or just took this thing that I was very sort of emotional about, and suddenly it's like, oh, it was almost worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now I have a bit,
Yes.
and now it's like it went from this thing that was not funny to me at all,
Yeah.
and now it's suddenly can potentially turn into like a funny ass bit.
Yeah.
So,
I
you
think
know.
fundamentally, like, all art is that.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
It's this
For sure.
painful thing.
I like
it's
it when
this-
it is.
Or it's even just like this intense. I feel like, or it's just some emotion quantified, or not, or not kind of quantified, or
Yeah, sort
made. What's the word? Tangible.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because by itself, life and going through it is such kind of like an awkward, difficult, often confusing thing.
Yes.
And when you make art or when you consume it, suddenly it's taking this experience that is so sort of like lacking meaning, you know, seemingly.
Yeah.
And sort of molding it into something that is potentially beautiful.
Yes.
You know? And that's what I do like it when art is because that's like David Foster Wallace talked about humor in that one interview.
Yeah.
Where he goes, and I'm trying not to make fun of myself as I'm saying all these things.
Right.
You know, it's
That's
hard.
very-
But
It's very Foster Wallace of you.
yeah. Well, he says some art offer. I think he was quoting Wittgenstein or something like that. Of some art offers escapes from pain, and some art sort of transfigures pain.
Yeah.
But to some degree, maybe it all sort of relates to it in some way.
Pain
Or suffering or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I definitely think comedy is like that. You know, even just on a something as awful as 9/11 or the Holocaust, you can take and transfigure into something that is like funny, or I had a very awkward encounter on the street today, or like I said something awkward and it was such an embarrassing thing, and yet that can turn into a very funny story,
right?
You know.
So, and then if you make some piece of art that's like serious about 9/11 or the Holocaust, then you're sort of
well, he was talking about
making
humor,
beauty.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah, I mean, then you can take it and sort of take this thing that's so awful and turn it into, whatever.
Turn it into something beautiful.
Then, to me, then the other side of it is you don't just have like all this art coming from pain. You can just have silly, funny, Joe Pera, Eric Andre, like, absurd kind of art, which is the escape part. That's sort of offering escape from our daily sort of struggles.
Yeah. No, that all makes sense. Yeah, I thought you were talking about art in general.
Well, his quote was about the humor in infinite jest or whatever, or what,
Either transfigures pain or it just completely makes you
and
forget about it.
And then he brought Kafka, who would just
laugh hysterically at his own stuff.
Yeah.
I remember reading the Metamorphosis and thinking it was funny.
I mean, it is, yeah. And that's what he said is there's plenty of funny stuff in Kafka, but it's hard for him to imagine like laughing so hard your neighbors complain or whatever.
Have you read Metamorphosis?
No, but I know it's short, and I would like to.
It's like 100 pages, maybe 80 pages.
Yeah.
Have I told you about the scene where his boss shows up at his house?
I think so. What were describe it again?
It's very funny to me.
And also for those who haven't read Metamorphosis, it's about a guy who turns into a cockroach.
Bug. It's not really. There's no spoiler.
Yeah.
But he can't go to work because he's a bug, which is already funny. And then he I'm pretty sure he can't speak, right? I don't think he can. I don't remember if he can speak or not, which would add another layer to the joke. Yeah. Because his boss shows up and he's like, he answers the door as a bug. And he's like, yes, boss, I've turned into a bug. But just so you know, I've always been there for you. I've never been late. I'm top of the boards on sales. Like, he's trying to sell himself still as an employee.
Well, it's also funny that he still gives a fuck.
Yeah. Instead of being like, I'm a bug, I'm a fucking bug, I'm a bug, I'm a bug. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think that spells out kind of the whole point of the thing.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't remember if he's making noises. Because I don't remember this part, but I just think it'd be very funny if...
I just picture him talking like a minion for
yeah,
some
he
reason.
can't even talk, but it's like...
Yeah, or he's just like...
He's got his little...
like, mini boss.
Yeah, dude.
But no, I want to read that. I mean...
It's good stuff. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's not even hard to read. It's easy, man.
Yeah, I'll read that when I'm done with Patti Smith.
Not Kafka, the other one.
Norwegian
Wood.
Yeah, Norwegian Wood I think you'd like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I will, and I really have enjoyed getting back into reading, especially like an author I really connect with, Murakami.
Yeah.
Which might be a red flag.
Yeah, you've mentioned Foster Wallace and Murakami.
Yeah,
dude.
and I'm about to talk about Bukowski.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
But it's like when I'm reading somebody that I'm really sort of relating to and that has sort of like beautiful kind of like prose, not just like the story, but
yeah.
It sort of changes the way I think. You know, it's like, and a lot of that book is about just sort of like describing people in like a very sort of eloquent way and describing memories in a way where I'm like, damn, it's making me think about my memories differently. And it's making me sort of like think about my friends and people differently, just like sort of,
reframing.
Yeah. Or just in my mind, it's almost like filtering it through this, like, his style or something. He's like infected my head with this like sort of,
I've definitely gotten that of just reading the shit out of something or consuming the shit out of one author.
Yeah, and I noticed I was writing in my diary way more. And
yeah, you find yourself thinking like them, talking like them or something.
Yeah.
You really get in there.
No, I definitely enjoy it.
Get in there.
And it's better than looking at my fucking phone.
It's way better.
Yeah. But...
we're getting close.
Yeah, what time?
Well, this is 45, but we started it like 10 minutes in. So,
Yeah.
you want to do another Austin promo?
Yeah, sure.
And we're doing Fort Lauderdale too. We got 2 shows.
Yeah, if there's anybody in Fort Lauderdale or Austin's, we will have gay sex with you.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna do the show dates and things like that.
Yeah.
So come on down to Fort Lauderdale. Sorry, that was very critical. I feel bad.
About what?
I'm just
Interrupting me
critiquing
for
it.
talking about gay sex.
Yeah, a little in our very important promo.
Okay, yeah, sure. I just imagine nobody will hear this.
No, dude, at least a couple people will hear it.
Okay.
I know Hunter's
Hunter's
like somewhere in
my boy.
South Florida. I think he's in somewhere close.
Yeah.
I texted him. I said, "Hey, man, we're coming to Fort Lauderdale." And he said, "Oh, I'm in Buzz. I don't remember where."
Yeah, do you think?
Yeah. So August 23rd, we'll be in Fort Lauderdale, and on September 17th, we will be in Austin.
Yes, sir.
And
we're going to Black Midi too.
we're going
wanna
to
come
the
with
Black
us?
Midi Black Country New Road concert
Yeah.
this September 16th. So you can't make it to the show, but you go to that concert.
Have they been doing live shows
Say hello.
without Isaac?
Yes.
Are they good?
I don't know. They have videos of them doing their new stuff, but I haven't watched it. I kind of want to wait for the concert.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should watch it and see if I even like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then we won't go. We'll just have gay sex instead.
We'll just have gay sex instead.
But yeah, is that
But
is
yeah.
that it?
Austin, September 17th.
We'll maybe have merch by then.
We're looking into merch. I think we're going to do stickers
Okay.
because it's cheaper.
Yeah. Stickers that I eat doo-doo.
Yeah, I like that.
I eat diarrhea
I eat
and
poop
poopy.
and listen to the JeanJax podcast. Yeah, I think that'll be good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Praise the
Yeah.
Lord.
This episode's been very sort of sort of
Yeah, high
heavy.
school art.
Yeah. Do you have any like retarded stuff you want to get out? Any bits you want to? That anything you said to Skate that insulted her?
Let me think here, dude.
Any movies you want to pitch to me?
I was at the gym the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going for a pretty heavy overhead press. That's where you go like,
Yeah.
you just lift it over your head like this,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like clenching really hard, and I get it up, and I go. I just let an absolute massive fart out.
And every hot girl,
Every
looked
hot
back at
girl,
you and threw up.
stared back at me like,
Yeah.
"Yo, what the H, dude?"
Or they were like, "Who was that?"
And then earlier that day, I'm walking. I always see this girl. She like power lifts. She's fucking massive and strong as shit.
Mhm.
And I'm walking into the parking lot, and I'm like, we like wave or something because we're always at the gym at the same time. I see her like nod or something, and as soon as I look forward, I go. I just farted.
You stick her face in it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've been farting at
farting
the
in
gym.
public,
I've been
that-
farting nasty, shitty. Bro, I've been upping my protein intake, and my farts have been disgusting.
Bro, ain't gonna lie. This morning, well, I took a couple L's recently.
Yeah.
One of which made me feel bad. The other one was losing my keys. That was
Yeah.
another L. And I found them in
Well,
the
you
trash.
found them in the trash.
Yeah. And
We didn't talk about that.
Hmm?
You were gonna say something about that.
Oh, well, I was just going to tell you why.
Why were they in the
I
trash?
went inside and I realized that I was holding a bunch of like car trash.
Yes.
And I was holding my keys in the same
And
hand.
you
And I
just
just threw
threw
it
it
all
away.
in, yeah, without even thinking
That
about
was
it.
this guy. He had or is it Louis has that joke about you have a bag of trash and your baby in one arm? Is that Louis?
I don't know. I never heard it.
Fuck, I can't remember if it's this guy Kevin who used to do stand up who loves Louis and does a very Louis-ish thing.
Yeah.
Like he had a joke that was either him or Louis had a joke that was like, you ever like, like you go to the trash can and you throw one arm, like you put the wrong arm into the trash can,
Yeah.
like you have trash in one arm and your baby in the other, and you accidentally throw the trash away when
Yeah.
you wanted to throw the baby away.
I'm just picturing if I waited 2 days to get the baby. Fuck, it was in the trash the whole time.
Oh, the baby.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
you just close it.
Yeah.
You can't hear it. So we can end there on a dead baby. If
Well,
you want.
I was gonna say the other L
Oh, what's the other L?
is I had streaks in my underwear this morning.
Bro, I've been had streaks. In
I
my
just been
underwear,
farting and farting and shitting and
bro.
farting.
I just can't. Sometimes I just can't wipe enough, bro. That shit's like clay back there, and I'm like, look, I'm just not gonna finish.
Well, I finish. I'll get to like the fucking. It'll be white as hell.
Yeah.
I'll do it like 10 times. All
You
of a sudden,
gotta get in there.
throughout the day. It just fucking comes back. Yeah, I guess I didn't get it good enough.
You
or
gotta
whatever,
like
yeah.
really pinch and dig deep in that little hole.
That's
of
what I
yours.
realized. Yeah. It sucks though, especially if you're out and about.
Yeah.
And you
And you got to wipe.
yeah, and you're wiping, but you're like I can't be in here for too long.
People
I'm going
don't know.
crazy on my asshole right now. I
Oh,
gotta
it's
get
gonna
out of here.
bleed, dude. Sometimes
Yeah.
I like it ends up like sandpaper. I'm like, I know I have more shit in there, but it hurts my little booty hole. And that's why you need a wet wipe every now and
What's
again.
the most embarrassing public fart?
I don't know.
you've
Did I
had?
tell you about the time I was in French class?
Maybe.
So there was my buddy Noam. He was in this
That's
class.
a terrible name.
Noam
Noam.
Chomsky.
Oh, I thought Noam. I guess
I say Noam.
Oh, okay.
Is it
that's-
Noam Chomsky or Noam Chomsky?
I always say Noam Chomsky, but that makes sense.
I thought it was Noam Chomsky.
Noam. I just thought it would
Like
be
Noah,
Noah
Noam.
with a little stank. Yeah.
He was in this class, and there was this little shoddy I had a crush on in
Mhm.
French class. And
Wee wee.
no, she wasn't French.
No.
This was in America,
I'm sorry.
dumbass. And there was this little shoddy, and he was like kind of hollering at her. He was like a better looking guy than me, and he was on the basketball team, and he was a fucking piece of shit. I hate him. And but he was a good friend of mine, and
He's one of our listeners.
he's one of my best friends, and he's like hollering at her, talking to her, and I was like trying to like this whole day, like it was kind of a free day or something, and this whole day I'm just thinking like, how can I interject into this conversation? Like, okay, my friend is there, and a girl I like. I can do this. I can fucking interject myself into this conversation. And then I go to the bathroom. I take a big old dump because I had to take a shit.
Yeah.
And then I come back, and I just sit back down, and I'm still like don't have the courage to go talk to them. And they start pointing and laughing at me. And they're just laughing and pointing and
Oh
laughing.
no.
And I'm like, what?
You're like, that's not about me. Is it?
I thought that was my first thought. Was like, well, that's not me, right? And then I realized like, oh, it's. I'm like, what? Like, what are you? And they're like, oh, nothing. And they wouldn't tell me, and that made it funnier to them.
Mhm.
They were like, we're not gonna tell.
That's
them.
terrible.
Yeah, so it just went
And you
on
can't
and
be
on.
that guy who's like, what was it about? What was it about?
I was like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And then after like a couple minutes of them laughing at me, either I realized or they told me, but I had toilet paper sticking out of my pants.
Oh no, I didn't even think that was possible.
Well, what happened was I didn't want to sit down on the gross school toilet, so I laid down like a circle of toilet paper, so there would be a barrier between my ass and the toilet seat.
They're gonna say I lay down on the floor.
I laid down on the floor, and there was yeah, I laid down on
Yeah,
the
I didn't want to touch the disgusting.
yeah,
seat.
so I unscrewed the drain in the middle of the bathroom tile, and I shit down the hole. And then whenever someone's coming, I say, "Get out of here!"
And they throw wet paper towels at them.
Yeah, and I'd go
Yeah.
like that.
Did you ever recover?
I was just mortified.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's one of those things that sticks with you.
Yeah, like that toilet paper.
That's a good place to end it.
Yeah, let's end it.
Yeah.
I gotta sneeze. I've had to sneeze this whole time. So weird.